Is the world we are living in today a prophecy unfolding right before our eyes? Let's take a moment to examine our current global situation, focusing primarily on the United States. In recent years, we've seen an alarming increase in inflation rates, making the cost of living nearly insurmountable for many. The once admirable democracy seems to be crumbling, with a growing sentiment that established laws are losing their value and authority. Yet, these events aren't just isolated incidents of political and economic turmoil. Some see them as potential fulfillments of ancient prophecies, particularly those penned centuries ago in the Bible. Could it be that the complexities of our modern world are intricately connected to these ancient predictions? Now let's add another layer to this unfolding narrative: the world of conspiracy theories. These theories often provide alternative explanations for significant events, challenging the mainstream narratives. One such theory revolves around the alleged influence of media and Hollywood in shaping public opinion, an operation supposedly orchestrated by the Central Intelligence Agency's Project Mockingbird. Project Mockingbird, for those unfamiliar, was a purported large-scale program aimed at manipulating news media for propaganda purposes. The theory suggests that this program continues to this day, subtly influencing our culture and political landscape. It's a claim that stirs up much debate, but it's hard to deny the power media and pop culture wield in shaping societal norms and values. These elements, the state of our world, the potential fulfillment of prophecies, and the alleged manipulation by powerful entities, intertwine to form a complex tapestry of our current reality. It's a reality that seems to be spiraling into chaos, causing division and unrest and leading many to question the direction we're headed. But could there be a purpose to all of this? Could these unsettling circumstances, no matter how disheartening, be part of a grander design? These are questions that continue to intrigue us, fuel our discussions, and inspire our search for truth. These unsettling circumstances lead us to question: could this be a part of a larger plan? The Ten Commandments, ancient as they may be, are they still relevant in our modern political movements? Let's embark on a journey through time and space, exploring the Ten Commandments and their relevance in today's world. These age-old edicts, etched in stone millennia ago, have shaped ethical norms and societal structures for countless generations. Yet, as we navigate the tumultuous waters of the 21st century, we must ask ourselves, do these commandments still hold sway over our political movements? Consider the first commandment: "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." In a literal sense, this commandment may seem out of place in our diverse, multi-religious societies. Yet, if we interpret this commandment metaphorically, it could implore us to resist the idolization of power, wealth, and fame, factors that often dictate our political landscapes. From our obsession with celebrity culture to our relentless drive for economic gain, we've elevated these gods to a pedestal, often at the expense of our ethical standards. Our political movements, too, are not immune to this trend. Populist leaders are venerated as infallible figures, and wealth often trumps meritocracy in political races. The commandments also urge us to uphold truth, respect relationships, and foster a spirit of contentment, all of which are sorely needed in our political arenas. Yet, we constantly witness deception, divisiveness, and greed tainting our political discourse. Perhaps the commandment that seems most pertinent today is, "Thou shalt not covet." In a world fraught with inequality, where the rich continue to amass wealth while the poor struggle for basic needs, this commandment could serve as a stark reminder of our collective responsibility towards fostering a just and equitable society. So, as we ponder over these ancient laws in the context of our modern world, we might realize that they are not as archaic as they seem. They may not dictate our political movements in the literal sense, but their underlying principles continue to echo in the corridors of power, reminding us of the ethical standards we ought to uphold. These ancient laws, it seems, still resonate with our modern world, but are we keeping them? Is the media more than just a source of information? Could it be a tool of influence and control? This question, though it might seem speculative, is rooted in a theory that has been floating around for decades. The media, some argue, is not merely a purveyor of news, but a powerful tool that shapes culture, society, and even our values. Let's delve into one of the most infamous conspiracy theories associated with the media: Project Mockingbird. Allegedly orchestrated by the CIA, this covert operation supposedly sought to manipulate news media for propaganda purposes during the Cold War. It's been said that journalists were recruited and news agencies infiltrated to control the narrative. Whether or not this theory holds water is a topic of heated debate, but it does underscore the potential power of the media. The media's influence isn't just limited to politics, it seeps into every facet of our lives. From the clothes we wear to the food we eat, from our favorite pastimes to our social norms, media plays a role in shaping it all. It's like a subtle whisper, guiding our choices and over time sculpting our culture. Historically, there are myriad examples of media manipulation. Remember the infamous War of the Worlds broadcast in the late 1930s? A radio adaptation of H.G. Wells' novel, it was presented in such a realistic manner that many listeners actually believed an alien invasion was underway. This highlights the media's power to create panic and confusion, all with the power of suggestion. But let's not forget, the media also has the power to unite, to inspire, and to enact change. It has been a catalyst for social movements, a platform for voices that would have otherwise been silenced. It's a double-edged sword, capable of both harm and good. The power of the media is undeniable, but is it being used to shape our world according to a predestined plan? It's a question that invites us to look beyond the surface, to question the motives behind the headlines, and to remain vigilant in our quest for truth. Could our current society be the Babylon prophesied in the Bible? Pondering this question, we delve into the biblical prophecy about Babylon and its potential correlation with our present world, specifically the United States. Babylon, as described in the ancient scriptures, was a city of immense wealth, power, and moral corruption. It was a symbol of human pride and arrogance, a society that had turned its back on divine laws. Does this sound eerily familiar? Let's consider the state of affairs in the United States. The nation is marred by political strife, social unrest, and economic instability. The presidency, war, politics, and civilian unrest, these vital aspects of society seem to be in a state of constant turbulence. Now let's take a step back and consider this from a broader perspective. Could this be part of a larger divine plan? Some believe that these events are not merely coincidental, but are signs of the unfolding prophecy about Babylon. The Bible warns of a time when Babylon will rise again, a time marked by chaos and division. And if we take a look around, we can see signs of this prophecy in action. The media, often accused of using propaganda and manipulation, could be seen as a modern version of the Babylonian towers, spreading confusion and discord among the masses. But remember, prophecy is not about inducing fear. On the contrary, it's about hope and redemption. If we are indeed living in the modern Babylon, it's a call to wake up, to realign our values, and to turn back to the divine laws that guide us towards peace and harmony. The conspiracy theories, the social unrest, the economic instability, all these may seem overwhelming, but they also serve as reminders that we have strayed from the path and it's time to return. In the end, whether we're living in the modern Babylon or not is a question that each of us must answer for ourselves. What we do know is that we have the power to change our course, to create a better world for ourselves and future generations. If we are indeed living in the modern Babylon, what does this mean for our future? It's a thought-provoking question that beckons us to reflect on our actions and their consequences. It's a call to action, a call for change. With all these revelations, what does this mean for us? We've journeyed through a labyrinth of ancient prophecies, conspiracy theories, and modern-day dilemmas. We've seen how the Ten Commandments, the cornerstone of ancient laws, echo in our contemporary political movements. We've delved into the shadowy corners where media and propaganda influence our culture, fueling division and unrest. We've also explored how our current societal landscape mirrors the prophesied Babylon, a place of confusion and spiritual decay. And we've pondered over the concept that what we're experiencing might be more than just the ebb and flow of human history, but rather a part of a grander divine plan. But now we must ask ourselves, what do these revelations mean for us? How should we navigate our lives amidst these waves of change and uncertainty? In essence, it's a call to reflection, a nudge to examine our behaviors and beliefs in the light of these revelations. Are we, perhaps unknowingly, idolizing presidents, celebrities, and material possessions? Have we allowed fear, propagated by the constant barrage of negative news, to dictate our lives? And if we have, then it's time to consider a reset, to reevaluate our priorities and realign them with the timeless wisdom of the Ten Commandments. To remember that, "Thou shalt not have any gods before me" is not just about ancient idols but also about the modern ones we've created: money, fame, power. Moreover, it's an invitation to step away from the spirit of fear. Fear, after all, doesn't come from the divine. Instead, let's embrace the spirit of love, of peace, of sound judgment. Let's reclaim our power to choose, to decide what influences us, what molds our beliefs, and eventually our actions. In the end, the choice is ours. Will we continue to live in fear, or will we choose to live according to the ancient laws that still resonate in our modern world?